making mistakes.
Not this time. This is where the big money is, folks. They're riding for quite a lot of money this time. This is the big one, the one they've been working so hard for tonight. 20 grueling laps, this 1.1 kilometre circuit, which has got rougher as the night's gone on. And only the strongest have survived the elimination series right throughout the night. And you're seeing the best in the world here right now.
Yes, very tense moment. $1,000 to the winner. Away and racing, the first one to go out of the trap that time was number 23, Super Stephen Gall. Anthony Gunter there. Gall's in the lead, and this is where it is. There's Ron Sun. Ron Sun's in second spot, and out in front is Stephen Gall. Back in third place, Beatles Bailey. Then we find out there is Jeffrey Leisk, and there is Gain. But they're all slip and slide, dip and dive over the jumps, and out in front is Ron Sun. Ron Sun, oh, and Stephen Gall and Ron Sun are down. They are down in the first race, and the boys from Video Link, if you're up here, you should be copying the action. Where are the boys from Video Link? Here they are now, Stephen Gall and Ron Sun. Unbelievable here tonight in the very first stages of the Super Bowl of motocross, and that's something that Stephen Gall didn't want to see happen. As we see now a race leader on the Suzuki, it's Beatles Bailey. The green lights are on, and the race is well and truly under action here at the Bunbury City Speedway. Tonight they are certainly really and truly providing a lot of action as we see the riders now moving down into the main straight. It's Beatles Bailey out in front. He's the guy that Mike Warren has been talking about all day, in second place and going very well indeed as caddy. Then back there to number 5, Jeffrey Leisk from Western Australia. Then Anthony Gunter, and then we see Ron Sun. Woohoo! Hot dogging, is he out in business tonight? He went through 4 bikes that time like they were going backwards. Keep your eye on Ron Sun, number 1. He is a desperate, dangerous man at the moment. And then back there to Shane Kirkpatrick, number 27. But there's 1 lap down and 19 to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Beatles Bailey on machine number 3. Moves into the main straight, up the main straight, and out in front. Jeffrey Leisk second. In third place is number 9, Caddy. Fourth place, number 4, Gunter. Then back to number 11, Big Brian Watson. And, no, it's not Brian Watson, but then back to number 9, Caddy, I should say. Number 1, Ron Sun, 7, Brian Watson, and number 2, Graham Smythe, and 23, Stephen Gall.
Absolutely fantastic. Ron Sun is the man to watch back there in number 1. He's got a number 43 number on his Guernsey, and he goes across the hoop-de-doos 2 at a time. The quad jumps, he's doing beautifully, and he's starting to peg back these fellas. A nasty little incident between him and Gunter, but they've sorted themselves out, and this is what makes these men of iron. And they're out there. Our race leader is Beetle Bailey, and he's a guy I've been wrapped in watching today. But let's look at this Jeffrey Leisk up there in second spot. Jeff Leisk, he knows he's got the job in front of him right now, and he's got about another 19 laps of this horrific action to go. Now let's see if he can hang on to do it. He's starting to peg back a little bit of the lead of Beetle Bailey at the moment, as these other big guns are starting to come through the field. And by gee, they want to make their move pretty soon, Con, because those blokes out in front are doing it in great style.
They certainly do, Michael. $1,000 to the winner, and Beatles Bailey from New South Wales out in front. Come on now, get behind Jeffrey Leisk. He needs your support, as we see Anthony Gunter in there as well. And we see them make their way. And look at Ron Sun. He is off the planet, ladies and gentlemen. He just went past another 2 riders. And I tell you what, if he doesn't win this race, he should get a gold medal for his desperate action here tonight on the Super Bowl of motocross. The Broadlands Finance, who have really and truly put in the big money here tonight.
Oh, look at Gunter.
And Gunter's in there riding hard. In the main straight, Beatles Bailey. Then number 5, Young Leisk. And back there in third place is number 5. number 007 Guts.
Absolutely fantastic. Now let's look at this. Now here comes Ron Sun now starting to peg back on number 9 for New South Wales, Greg Caddy. And look at Ron Sun go through on the inside of Caddy this time. There he is down the end of the straightaway, and he pegs it back into the but Caddy goes down. Caddy goes down, he picks up the machine as quick as he can. He needs to crank it up, boy, and get going, because once you're out of it, you're out of it in the big one. And look at these fellas pick up those quad jumps like they were standing still. This is where it's happening. It's happening right here in Bunbury, and I just almost don't believe my eyes.
That's right, Michael. Top action here. Beatles Bailey. He's a desperate man. He leads this event. There's Jeffrey Leisk. Jeffrey Leisk is starting to assert the pressure. 3 laps down and 17 to go on the Broadlands Finance Super Bowl of Motocross. Here comes Jeffrey Leisk now. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Get behind Leisk. He needs your support. Come on, all you people over there in the pits. Over the Grand Canyon they go. Past the pits. Into the left-hander they go sideways. They slip, they slide, they dip and dive. These are brave men of motocross racing here tonight. They're doing it the hard way, and they're really out there battling hammer and tong, man against man, machine against machine. Jeffrey Leisk is there. Come on now, Jeffrey Leisk. Jeffrey Leisk out there. Beatles Bailey there. The third man is Anthony Gunter. Anthony Gunter from the Wollongong Motorcycle Club in Sydney up in third place. But from the BSA Club, our own West Australian 16-year-old superstar is out there against Beatles Bailey, who was going to give him this big combat at the moment. Over the button jump they go. And there's
Stephen Gall.
Stephen Gall are really fighting hard. But look at this battle out in front. This is unbelievable action. Number 3, Bailey leads. Number 5, Leisk. Then back to Ron Sun. No, back in third place is number 4, Anthony Gunter, Ron Sun and Stephen Gall. Look at Stephen Gall's pit crew there. They're giving him the drum. They say, you better catch that guy. And now Ron Sun is riding his heart out. But, ladies and gentlemen, $1,000 to the race winner. And there is Jeff Leisk, our own star there, trying so desperately hard to peg back the race leader, Beatles Bailey from New South Wales. And you notice this time, Michael, there's no way in the world is he taking one finger off the handlebars.
I can bet my boots on that. And Beetle Bailey blasts that bike of his out of that berm. And young Jeffrey Leisk hanging there in second spot. But that dice on for the third and fourth. Stephen Gall, he's back on again. He's back on. There he is back over the mount. He almost put himself undone. He's riding, well, he's riding more than 10 tenths. He's riding off the limit, and I think he knows it too. But he's got to peg back that Ron Sun, and Ron Sun is really unwinding that Honda bike of his. But our race leaders at this stage doing it so beautifully indeed as Beetle Bailey leads Jeffrey Leisk. And what a battle that's turning out to be.
It certainly is a battle royal here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Beetle Bailey, come on, they still need your support. They've got a long way to go. General, how many laps left to go as they go down through the Castrol TT? They've done 3 laps, 17 laps left to go. 17 laps of torture, 17 laps of grueling battle here tonight. And look at Stephen Gall.
He's got under Ron Sun.
He's fantastic. Up in fourth place at the moment. The race leader Bailey. Gall's up in fourth. Gunter's in third. Doing a great race-like job. And now there doesn't seem to be anyone pegging back the race leader. Look at Stephen Gall. He's going like a bomb. He gets himself a slingshot. Brings himself up the main straight. He's absolutely flying. No doubt about the man out in front either. That's young Beatles Bailey with Jeffrey Leisk just so close behind him, Mike. A great race here.
Oh, look, Gall, stole the bike again. Ron Sun almost seized it that time. And there he goes. Gall's flying that high. He's almost got mist in his eyes. Look at the way this fellow's going. Stephen Gall leading Ron Sun at this stage and trying to peg back Anthony Gunter. But there's our race leaders starting to thread their way, starting to lap this field already. It's almost unbelievable. After 4 laps, starting to lap the slower riders. And now race leaders, Beetle Bailey, followed by Jeffrey Leisk. And then comes Anthony Gunter, Stephen Gall, then Ron Sun. What an incredible lineup.
Brilliant racing here. Oh, look at that. Unbelievable action here. Neville Cuts went straight off the bike and landed back on the seat, and he's out in a brilliant race here. There it is, a top action motocross racing here tonight. It's young Jeffrey Leisk. He went
fantastic.
straight off he's all legs and arms went off the seat, and he's bounced back onto the seat to take the lead in desperate motocross action. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, he's only 16 years of age, and he's leading this race. Take a deep breath, young fella. Don't make any mistakes. You're up against the cream in the country, and you're showing them how to do it. Jeffrey Leisk on his home soil tonight, and he is flying. Stephen Gall. He's a desperate man too.
Oh, he's the man.
4 laps down and 16 to go. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, what about putting your hands together for Jeffrey Leisk? Jeffrey Leisk down in front. In second place is Beatles Bailey. Then back to Anthony Gunter. And there he is, Super Stephen Gall and rocketing Ron Sun. Ron Sun from Oregon in the United States of America up in 4th place, but this is unbelievable motocross action. Beatles Bailey's in all the trouble around the place, and he's starting to look for somewhere to lay it because he's very, very tired indeed as Jeff Leisk just goes further and further ahead.
See, Stephen Gall, I didn't think he'd get out of that one, but he did. Absolutely amazing, coming over those quad jumps, up on the front wheel, down on the back wheel as he puts the challenge on Gunter now. Off the inside, I think he's going to peg him this time. He's wound up that Yamaha as hard as it'll go. over the canyon jumps, down in the hoop-de-doos. He doesn't back off for anything, this lad. He backs off for nothing at all as he heads into the perpendicular wall. Up and out of it he comes. Anthony Gunter knows he's being pressured now, and by gee, he's starting to perspire because this fella pushes you hard.
He sure does. There's no doubt about that. But the race leader at the moment is Jeffrey Leisk from the BSA Motorcycle Club, and he's absolutely bathing his name in glory here tonight at the Bunbury City Speedway. And this is the Broadlands Super Bowl Motocross Grand Final, the 20-lap final here tonight. And look at him. Young Leisk is starting to lap the slower riders. Beatles Bailey there. Look at Anthony Gunter. Stephen Gall is off the planet. He is absolutely going like a man possessed, riding at 10/10 all the way, and I didn't think he could do that because that's the way he's riding. One slip and then he made think he'd go. Look at him going past Gunter. He's up in third place. And he said, look out, Beatles Bailey, because here I come. Stephen Gall, both feet off the footrest. They go, oh, and look at that. Anthony Gunter shoved him out the road. Brilliant action. Anthony Gunter says, get out the road because I'm coming through.
Look at Ron's son takes him on the inside.
There it is, Ron's son now. So Stephen Gall has gone from third to fifth place. Beatles Bailey looking over his shoulder. Look at these four men locked together. This is unbelievable motocross action, Super Bowl action. As Jeffrey Lee says, let those guys fight it out behind me. I'm going to win this event and there's going to be no one taking it from me. Ron's son's the desperate man. He's riding like a kamikaze. He's up there in third place. Beatles Bailey now. There is Anthony Gunter in fourth place, and fifth place is Stephen Gall. And Beatles Bailey's in all the trouble around the place, but he's got the Suzuki pointing in the right direction as they go down past the Anzac sign into this very tight left-hander once again, Michael.
Absolutely
Look at
incredible.
Bailey's back up in front. Bailey's taken the lead, and Jeffrey Lee's just dropped back to second spot. I think Bailey's and Anthony Gunter's up in second place. Woo-hoo, hot dog, and this is racing at its very best. Beatles Bailey leading, Anthony Gunter, Jeffrey Leisk in third place, then Stephen Gall and Ron's son.
I don't believe it. It's absolutely fantastic. These fellas are completely off the air tonight. Over the canyon jump they go, screaming up high into the stars, coming back over the double jumps, two at a time, two bikes at a time. We'll rub handlebars, we'll bash into each other. We don't really care, but Beetle Bailey up there in front again, and by gee,
at least he's back out in front. He's that far in front, he's lonely. I'm sorry about that. Jeffrey Lee's back in front. Beatles Bailey there in second spot, then Anthony Gunter, Ron's son and Stephen Gall. I've never seen Stephen so reckless in my whole life as he now tries desperately hard to try and peg back the race leaders, but the Yamaha's just not doing it. Here he is, Jeffrey Leesk down the
give it to him, folks. Give it to him as he goes past. Give him that encouragement he needs. Jeffrey Leisk out in front while these fellas are dicing for it in the back. Beetle Bailey, Gunter, Ron's son, Stephen Gall. They're all fighting back for those minor placings, and by gee, they're working hard with each other, but out in front there, having a great time, is Jeffrey Leisk. Jeff Leisk, insane, driving like nobody I've ever seen here on this track.
7 laps down and 13 to go, and I bet you there's tears running down Hill and Bob's eyes at the moment because their young boy is out there absolutely flying with 13 laps left to go. 13 laps of torture here on the Broadlands Super Bowl Motocross Grand Final. Jeffrey Leisk out in front from the BSA Motorcycle Club. Out in front in second place is Beatles Bailey, then back there to Anthony Gunter. And we see Stephen Gall and Ron's son. Tell you what, Michael, you don't want to have a weak heart to be here tonight, I'll give you the drum.
Absolutely not. Just look at our race leader now. Coming around here, Jeff Leisk, he's staying and maintaining that lead that he's fought so hard for. And he doesn't seem to be slowing down at all, Con. He looks fantastic, as a matter of fact. Beetle Bailey up there in second spot. Up there following him is Anthony Gunter. The lead hasn't changed. Ron's son being pressured by Stephen Gall now. Stephen Gall is putting in some dangerous moves.
Yes, he certainly is. He's been a desperate man. But Stephen realises now that he has to take the risks, but he just can't seem to do anything about it. He's frustrated as you see him go past Ron's son that time. But look at Leisk. He is riding just like a normal practice day. He is so far out in front, and he is so lonely at the moment. Second man, Beatles Bailey, and in third place now, still Anthony Gunter. Then Stephen Gall comes back again. He says, well, Mr. Gunter, you used to be up a while ago, but you better make sure you know what you're doing this time, as they now go up the end of the main straight with number 1, Ron's son, finishing up, sitting up there in 5th place. Beatles Bailey made a little bit of a mistake that time, but Jeff Lee seems to be just going on with the job as Michael Figlamini looks behind that rider there, but he just can't seem to be able to find any answer whatsoever for this guy who is an absolute world-class performer. Jeffrey Lee leading the Broadlands Super Bowl Motocross Grand Final here tonight.
champion of champions, and this man is certainly making an indelible mark on the motocross world here tonight at Bunbury City Speedway, because when these fellas go back to the States, when they go back to the Eastern Seaboard, they're going to talk about a guy they saw ride here at Bunbury, a guy called Jeffrey Leisk. And they're going to talk about it for a long time to come, because this fella's going to be around for a long time to come.
Only 16, so he can say another 10 years of top motocross racing ahead of this young guy, as Jeffrey Leisk now moves into the Bunnings Torture Tunnel. In second place, Beatles Bailey, and Stephen Gall now is setting himself down into some very respectable laps as he now starts to sort himself out. Was a little bit anxious from the beginning, and now with looking at Beatles Bailey, he hasn't got a chance to get past him. He's past Anthony Gunter. Ronson seems to block the front now. As now Stephen Gall's in second place, and the crowd are screaming, "Go, Gall, go!" at the moment. And they're into the main straight, our race leader. And how many laps is that, Ken? 9 laps, 11 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And the big question is, can number 23, Stephen Gall, peg him back? Stephen Gall is now burnt off his opposition, who were making it hard for him earlier, but now that's all over. The going very tough, and now it's only the survival of the fittest, as the Honda machine is responding to everything that Jeff Leisk is asking of it. And Ron Young from Honda Australia reckons he'll throw a carton of champagne on if Jeffrey Leisk wins that. And I reckon, Ron, you've just about be in for a pretty expensive night, because there's no doubt about this guy. He is going to be one of the real sensations. They're coming up close to the halfway mark. 9.5 laps left, 9.5 laps down, and Top Action Motocross still coming in the Broadlands Grand Final, the Super Bowl of Motocross, with Jeffrey Leisk leading on machine number 5 from Stephen Gall on 23. Back in third place, number 3, as Beatles Bailey, and in fourth place, number 4, Anthony Gunter. In fifth place, number 1, Ron Son from Oregon in the United States of America, as the Golden Boy, Graham Smythe, goes past our broadcast position. But Jeff Leisk is now well and truly in command of proceedings. He hasn't put a foot wrong from the beginning. He survived the hectic hassle and bustle at the beginning of this event, and now is really and truly relaxed in riding on this event and virtually pacing himself, Mike.
I tell you one thing, there's still a danger man there. That danger man is Stephen Gall, as he goes across the doubles, and he does them both together. He's one of the few riders out there now that's taking them both together, and there's one danger man there now for Jeffrey Leisk, and that's Stephen Gall. Stephen Gall has a lot of determination in his riding style. You can see how hard he's riding. He made a statement in the pits, and he's a man, when he makes a statement, he follows it through, Bob. He's never let anybody down, and he's not going to let anybody down tonight. And Jeffrey Leisk, I wouldn't look over my shoulder. I wouldn't hesitate for 1 second, mate, because you've got one of the best riders in the nation starting to peg you back at the moment.
Certainly has, Michael. There they are, the race leader, Jeffrey Leisk, and Stephen Gall breathing down his tailpipes. And I tell you, he'd be one guy I wouldn't like to have breathing down my tailpipes. With 10 laps left to go, past the Ansett sign, over the Grand Canyon they go. Out in front and still riding extremely well is number 5, Jeffrey Leisk. Second place man, Stephen Gall, and as Michael was saying just a few moments ago, he's starting to get closer behind Jeffrey Leisk, and I think that Jeff will have to receive a few instructions from his side kicks there, because the gap is starting to be whittled down slightly. As you can see, Stephen Gall, who has had to survive some hectic racing in the early stages, is now getting back and going very, very hard indeed, as Jeff Leisk gets a little bit ragged, lands on his front wheel that time, and now look at Gall, he's riding like a man possessed. Underneath the Bunnings Torture Tunnel they come. Slip and slide, they go sideways, they straighten the machine up through the casserole jump. Then the assistant, he very slowly takes that over there. Not going to make many mistakes, and Gall is really and truly pushing this bike and the man in front of him to the limit as they come now into the Bunnings Bridge. Over the Bunnings Bridge they come for about the 12th time.
Absolutely tremendous, coming to the main straight away now, young Jeffrey Leisk. Come on, folks, let's let him hear it through the helmets. That's the idea. Give him a razz, give him that encouragement that he needs. And also this bloke here, what a dynamo he is. Stephen Gall starting to peg back Jeffrey Leisk at the moment. He's taking all sorts of risks, and he's doing it beautifully. What a professional rider. What a great rider Jeffrey Leisk is too. Leading this thing almost from the start. He got the jump, and he's held onto that after a couple of challenges. Slipped back to second and third spot, then fought his way back to first spot, and he's held onto it. He's got quite a sizable lead. And I tell you one thing, Stephen Gall, you're going to pull out all stops, mate. You've got to use things you can't remember to get up and knock this Jeffrey Leisk off the night. Leisk's foot is off the pedal, and he's off the air as he tries to maintain this lead.
Michael, just imagine at 16 years of age, this type of company, this sort of pressure, just what a wonderful head on his shoulders he must have to be able to cope with this at such a tender age.
Absolutely tremendous. A lot of maturity in the hands of young Jeffrey Leisk. A lot of ability too. We're seeing that ability being displayed even out in Bunbury City Speedways. He goes over the double jumps and does it very smoothly. I think he's getting a little faster now, and I think he's getting a little fitter. I think he's putting his act together beautifully.
Sure is. There's Uncle Les out there, Les Leisk, the former Speedway star, out there helping his dad, helping his brother Bob to make sure that Bob doesn't have a heart seizure out there, because he's very excited about the whole scene. And as you can appreciate, very proud people as Stephen Gall closes the gap considerably. Over the bunnies jump they go. As they go now, 11 laps left, 11 laps down and 9 to go. 9 laps to go. Look at Stephen Gall. Out himself, gets himself a slingshot that time. You see what Mike Leisk closed the gap quite considerably.
Stephen Gall is starting to breathe heavily on Jeff Leisk now. You can watch this fella go around the track and watch him slowly pegging him back. Watch him go through these doubles. He'll take them 2 at a time. There he is into the next one. Way flying high he is. What a tremendous rider. What a great rider Jeffrey Leisk is. Got the wind in his face the whole time since this race has started. But Stephen Gall steadily pegging back this gigantic lead of Jeffrey Leisk. And the others, well, they're way back.
That's right, they're out of it. They could even park their bikes in the pits, because there is not a great deal of a chance that anything really going wrong out in front. Beautifully for Jeff Leisk. It's a brand new liquid-cooled Honda, the latest off the showroom floor, and he's out in front. Over the Grand Canyon he goes, past the Broadland sign. Look at Stephen Gall, but I tell you what, Mike, he has bridged the gap quite considerably. The experience of Stephen Gall is starting to really show.
Look at him.
12 laps down, 8 to go, ladies and gentlemen, and Jeffrey Leisk has put in a terrible lap this time. Look at Stephen Gall. Gall is in full flight at the moment, over the double jump, and Stephen Gall's gone to the lead. Stephen Gall has gone to the lead. Jeffrey Leisk has run out of puff completely that last lap. And as you said earlier, and we all said, Stephen Gall said, well, you haven't seen the best of me yet. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Australia's #1 motocross rider, out in front of the...
Come on, Jeffrey Leisk. Come on, Jeffrey Leisk. Let's get behind Jeffrey Leisk. I don't think he realised that Stephen Gall was so close. And I think that Jeffrey Leisk is going to start to extract a little bit more this time. As Stephen Gall, look at Jeffrey Leisk under pressure again. He's getting back. He's got the idea that Gall has crept up on him, and Leisk's putting in some long ones. Look at that jump. That's the biggest jump he's done since he's been here. And look at him fighting back on the inside, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Gall did a bit of a balk that time, and Leisk fought back, and he's got that Honda's neck screwed right off.
He sure has, but I tell you what, there it is, a true professional. He comes from what can only be considered one of the most unbelievable fights in his very illustrious motorcycling career. He come from 6th point back to 3rd spot, then back to 6th spot, then got up to 2nd, dropped back to 4th, and now he's out in 1st, and I don't think he's going to make many mistakes here. As you can see, Stephen Gall, the race has been going for 13 laps now, and they have something like 7 to go, and Jeffrey Leisk is, as I said, that last lap he put in a while ago, lap number 12, was a desperate one. He lost a lot of ground, and now you can see the supreme coolness and professionalism of Super Stephen Gall, the man from the St George Motorcycle Club in Sydney, New South Wales, who has not put a foot wrong since he sort of shot out of that coffee barrel over the handlebar. I did not talk to him, but our 3rd place, Sam Bodgie, that is still, I think, Beatles Bailey, Mike.
Yes, it is.
Beatles Bailey.
Beatles Bailey coming through now. There he is, 23, Stephen Gall. There's Jeffrey Leisk, and Stephen hasn't pulled away that much this time as he's getting the signal from his pit crew, Jeffrey Leisk. He's getting the signal to go, boy, go, 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 and that's the idea. Let's see what happens this time as they head towards the jumps, and there's a rider down, the yellow flag's out, they must hold their positions.
That's tremendous to see the riders obey the flags like that. It was tremendous. But Stephen Gall, well and truly in command of the proceedings. There's some very excited young spectators here.
Oh, look at Leisk, he's putting in some big ones again, ladies and gentlemen. He's starting to really screw that Honda on again. He made up a bit of ground that time on Stephen Gall. Look at him go this time, Con. I think he's got the word. He might have got a second win, but Jeffrey Leisk is starting to bridge that gap again. Have a look at this. This is developing into another great challenge series.
Got caught up on the whoop-de-doos a bit that time, but he's lost a little bit of valuable ground. Look at him, pegging him back. By gee, this is fantastic riding.
Well, you couldn't believe that two men could be so superior as over the other riders who also ride so well. Stephen Gall has still at this stage helped to keep his reputation intact as you see him go past our past Castro jump, Gall over double every time, and Jeffrey probably gets a little time, but it's only speed through the race, and doesn't need type of competition, but no way in the world is he being disgraced at all. This race is how many laps left, Ken? 5 laps left to go. 15 down, 5 to go, ladies and gentlemen. And this is unbelievable spectacle. Stephen Gall now must realise with only 5 laps left to go that he's got a very good chance of going on and winning this event. But Jeffrey Leisk is not going to make it life very comfortable for him over these 5 laps.
I think Jeff Leisk realises now that if he's going to make a move at all, he'd better start making it, because Stephen Gall is getting stronger and he's getting faster as this race progresses. Only 5 laps left to go. There's not a great deal of distance to be made up, but when you're trying to make it up on a guy like Stephen Gall, it must seem like a million miles.
Sure does, Michael. What a tremendous battle it has been here tonight. We have seen the very, very best in Super Bowl and motocross, put up by great exponents of this very tough but very fastly growing sport. As Stephen Gall again asserts his pressure over this field. He is the master of motocross in Australia today, and he is certainly proving what has made him that. He's like Ivan Major is to speedway, like Kelly is to soccer, like Alan Moffat is to road racing. That is what Stephen Gall is to motocross in Australia today. It is unbelievable. He is such a switched-on rider, and you'll want to watch him when he comes back in a true professional, a man that knows what it's all about. He's a great winner, and you can see him come over the bunny jump once again. Jeffrey Leisk by no means stray still, but with only 4 laps left to go, Michael. Wonder what we'll be going through his mind now.
He'd be saying, I hope the hell Gall falls off. That's what he'd be saying. I can tell you that right now.
Would Stephen say that about himself, would he?
No, I thought you said Jeff Leisk.
No, Jeffrey Leisk would say that, yes. I don't think Stephen would say that.
No, I think
Stephen's saying, I hope Leisk falls off.
Yeah, so I can relax a bit.
That's the least he can do, he probably thinks. Third place man is Ron Sun, and fourth place man is number 3, Stephen Bailey. Then number 4, Anthony Gunter.
There's not a great deal separating these riders. Ron Sun starting to pick up a few long ones too, but Anthony Gunter starting to move his way through the field. Stephen Gall he's worked hard for this $1,000.
That's right, but he still hasn't got it in the bank, Mike. We've seen this happen before. Riders have led events till the last lap, and things have gone wrong. We saw Steve Gall do that at the Southern Cross, King of the Cross this year, and he rolled a tyre with only a couple to go, so we better not talk too soon. But at the moment, I don't think he's making any mistakes. He seems to look very much in command of the proceedings. He's had to survive some pretty desperate racing, and he seems to be able to do that quite well. He is the complete master of the Super Bowl here. Laps are ticking by now, Mike.
Not a great deal left, and by gee, Jeffrey, great piece of riding tonight. Be up there amongst the world's best. Stephen Gall certainly putting pay to anyone else's ideas of having a victory here tonight, because he is absolutely tremendous when you consider the amount of roughage that he took at the start of this big one, Con. Fought his way back, way bound at the bottom of the field.
Peter. How many laps, Peter? 17, 3 laps left to go. Yes, you're right, Michael. Definitely had a tremendous amount of roughage to go through, and you know, what you can see, what he went through is unbelievable, and we certainly are wishing him no harm, because he has had to work hard for it.
There he goes. Not a bad turn of speed for John Day, as a matter of fact, but things hurry up. That'll be Stephen Gall. 1 lap left to go for Stephen Gall, ladies and gentlemen, and 1 lap left for Jeffrey Leisk in second position. There he is, folks, young Jeffrey Leisk, 16 years of age, and riding like a very mature motocrosser tonight. And look at Stephen Gall. He knows there's only 1 lap left to do, and he's breathing a big sigh of relief.
And of course Ron's son is putting up a tremendous performance there too, Mike. He's worked his way up again into that third position, and quite a contest going on here, as you can see now, up into the main straight with Bunbury Bailey and of course Anthony Gunter. And of course they're the first 5 riders through, and a joy to behold.
Absolutely tremendous. Beetle Bailey has dropped all his flamboyancy that he started off the evening with, and he's down to the job of really riding hard. And Anthony Gunter is hanging in there, and he says, "Thank you, Dale. Give me a bit of a break. Let me have a turn at leading you for a while." But let's have a look at our race leader now. We try and pick him up, coming over the canyon jump now. The camel jumps. He'll take these 2 at a time, as he's been doing all night tonight. Plus one of the slower riders. But ladies and gentlemen, what a champion. What a real champion. He made that statement in the pits. He wasn't being an egotist at all. He was simply stating a fact. When the big one comes, I'll be there. He takes it for the first time tonight singularly. And there he goes, Stephen Gall. John Day getting ready for the checkered flag in just a moment. Stephen Gall will be coming over the Bunnings jump.
Well, he certainly hasn't earned the Mr. Motocross title for nothing, and here he comes into the final stage of the run. Up to the checkered flag there, ladies and gentlemen. Put your heads together now for Stephen Gall.
Fantastic ride, ladies and gentlemen. A real champion, and here he is, Jeffrey Leisk, up in second spot.
And as I said to you before the night started, there's no doubt about this man. He is motocross in Australia. He's the most professional rider. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who won the Super Bowl here tonight. Let's hear it for Super Stephen Gall.
Thank you very much. Well, it's great to see all these sponsors get behind motorcycling, and I really like to thank all of them for putting their money into it. And I think, as you can see from the first stadium motocross in Western Australia, it's really good stuff, and I hope Johnny Fenton puts on another one, because it's really good for the sport over here in WA, and I'm sure everyone would like to come along and see it again.